This is Red with Redbeard Streaming. Uh, I got this random buy off eBay, came in this morning. I'm really excited about it. This is a seller that I've bought from several times, and I wanted to show you what I got from them this time and give them a bit of a shout out because they are an absolute A++ all-star seller on eBay. Um, I'm gonna get into it, then I'll grab you their name and all that information in just a minute. And um, they're one of the people who I think this is the fourth or fifth time I've bought from them, and every single time they've exceeded my expectations again and again. Um, so if you're looking for random buys for Magic the Gathering, whether you're a collector or a seller, I'm both. This individual is absolutely the best, in my opinion, that I've found. The store name is RGF Coastal Collectibles on eBay. So let's go ahead and get into it. Just get this open. So I know a few cards. Well, really just one card that's going to be in here. So just as kind of a bit of background for me and my collections. I collect the Lord of the Rings Universes Beyond cards. I'm trying to get a full set of them. You can see pretty well packaged in there. I've always been impressed with their packaging. I'm gonna pull this off the table, finish unpacking it. Got a 10th edition bundle box and one of the new Murders at Karlov Manor boxes. The last few that I've gotten have come in these fat pack bundle boxes, whatever you like to call them. I think the first one I got was just in one of those white long boxes. It's approximately 1,000 cards. I think it's actually going to be a bit more. But let's go ahead and crack into these. So you can see it's pretty well full. I mean, a little bit of wiggle room, but not much. As far as card quality goes, just looking at them from top down like that, they're in pretty darn good condition right off the bat. That's one thing that I've always been impressed with. On their listings, they always say that their cards are near mint to or light plate near mint. And I've maybe found one or two that are not, and that's after 5,000 plus cards I bought from them. So absolutely wonderful. Let's see. So we've got Rush the Room, which I'm gonna set aside. Wizards Rockets. That one I know I don't have in my collection, so that's gonna go over there. Meeting Partings, Oliphants, Pippin's Bravery, Shire Terrace. I'm gonna just kind of go through these quick. If I see something that I know is worth money, I'll pull it aside. But I'm not gonna be scanning necessarily right now unless I see something that I'm like, hey, hold on. After this handful of cards, I'll also quickly look up um what I paid for this lot. And that's the other thing. So if you are a seller, um every single lot that I've gotten from this seller, I have made money on most of the time. the value of the cards in it, just value cards, meaning for me, 50 cents and up was my baseline. Nowadays, I'm trying to just post cards that are $1 and up. I've nearly tripled my money most of the time. So for this lot, I paid 68.64, and that includes shipping and everything. And I guarantee you, we are gonna have at least that. I'll try and keep the cards in a decent pile. Actually, I know that card's worth a bit of money, so we're gonna set that up there. I think it's, oh, I know it's over $1. I don't know how much though. Maybe $2. Oh, and I like to, so these list reprint cards, I always set those aside. One of the things that I like to do is with my sells on TCG Player, and this is a little bit of a plug for me, shameless plug. I like to add in a card, at least one card, to all of my sells, and I like to do the list reprint cards. If they turn out to be worth more than $1, I'll list them. Um, but if they're under $1, oh, and I collect these as well. But if they're under $1, I mean, even if they're like 99 cents, I put them in my what would I call it? My group of free cards for lots. So I mean, I've sent out cards that are nearly worth $1 to people who've only spent, you know, $1 in my or spent like 35 cents in my shop before. It's just something that I like to do. I think it's kind of cool to buy a card and get some extra cards, you know. I'm not trying to make a whole ton of money. Basically, I'm trying to make enough to cover my my card buying addiction. I think probably a lot of us can relate to that, but you know, it's just something that I like to do. One moment, I'm just gonna grab some tape, put it on my knuckles. Don't know how, but looks like I scraped myself a little bit. Gonna have to wash my back cover. Put that up there. Adjust this a little bit. Another thing that I really like about the seller, you get a really pretty good variety of sets. There's usually not a whole ton of repeats. There's an old Mirage card. I set old cards aside. I like to keep those separated simply because I like to get those all together, and once I have enough of them, I'm going to be doing a large, like 2,000 plus um, lot sell on eBay. So be looking out for that. My TCG store is just Redbeard Streaming on tcgplayer.com. And my eBay store is Redbeard Streaming as well on eBay. So I don't have anything listed on eBay yet, but Um, I have plans to here in a little while. I've got some friends that I'm gonna have help me out. Let me adjust this. I need to rest my elbows. This is getting. There we go. I have some friends that are gonna be helping me pull cards so that I can do zero duplication random lots on eBay. There's not going to be really anything of major value in those. Like you're not going to find one rings or cards worth like $5 or $10 or anything like that. Most likely. I've got so many cards though, just in bulk that it might end up happening just because I am not able to go through all my cards well enough before doing that, and it's just not really worth my time to go through. All dwarf cards I set aside because I'm going to be building a dwarf deck. Um, but so, stuff is going to likely find its way in there. But I'm also not going to be asking a whole lot of money for those guys. Um, I'm going to start the bidding at, 99 cents. Ooh, I haven't seen that one before. All that glitters, that is a card that's worth a dollar or two. Generous gift used to be like just a month or two ago. It really depends on the set, and I don't know. I don't have them memorized enough to know which sets are, so I'm just gonna leave that in. Supply runners. My wife is building a dog and cat deck, so I set those aside when I see them. I passed over a bunch because I know my wife already has them. Frantic Search, we'll set that one aside. It's not worth anything, I don't believe, though, even in the full art. So I'm probably completely wrong on this, but one thing, I hate any cards that say core. Usually don't have any value, especially if they're just commons. Um, I'm probably wrong, and people are probably going to call me out on that and say, hey, wait, there's this core card that it's worth a lot of money. And, probably. I just haven't found it. And that's a cool full art card. But I also haven't been doing this long enough to know all the value cards, all the really playable cards. I've only been playing since Thanksgiving of 2023. So what is that? 4 months about now? Um, but I kind of fell head over heels for the game. I need to play more. Um, than I do, but I kind of went off the deep end in buying cards, which is why I had to get into Rummaging Goblin. I haven't seen that one before. Which is why I had to get into. We're gonna start setting aside all the Lord of the Rings cards because I also have my sister and a friend, Brandywine Farmer. I don't have that one in my collection yet, oddly enough. Who love Lord of the Rings and want to collect those cards. And I do have these two, but I don't have a play set of them. That's another thing about my Lord of the Rings collection that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get at least a play set of everything. Um, Obviously, there are some cards like the Gandalf the White that was a store championship promo card, I think. That's just not going to happen because I don't have $1,300 to buy one, let alone what would it be, like 7,000 to buy 4? Um, so Troll of Khazad-dûm, this card's nearly worth $1, but I since I'm collecting them, since I have friends that are collecting them, Lorien Revealed, that's worth over $2 still, I believe. But again, um, I'm collecting them. I have friends that are collecting them. I'm not gonna be posting that necessarily. Oh, that's a pretty Lorien Revealed. I don't have that. I think it's called the scroll version in my collection yet. Whoop, sorry for kicking the camera. Um, but kind of my philosophy on things is I don't want to be screwing people over that do collect. I'm gonna set these over to the side there. I go through random buys a lot. They're my favorite things to do. I've got to at least make my money back if I can. There's been several times that I have not. But I don't want to be stealing anybody's lunch money, uh, to put it one way. I've kind of made it a commitment to myself that this would never happen. But like if I did a random buy from somebody in person, they just found their old cards, or mom was clearing out the basement, found their kids' old cards and something, and there was like a Black Lotus in there. I'm not gonna just take that, pay them $25 and take that Black Lotus and sell it for 10,000. If it was in pristine condition, or 3,000 or 1,000 or whatever it's gonna be. Um, I'm gonna try and do what I think is fair and what I would hope someone would do for my mother, or me in the future if I have something of similar value, and reach out and say, hey, I don't think you knew what you had here. I've looked it up. Here's what I think I could sell it for. What would you like to do? I'd be happy to sell it and split the profit with you. If you just want it back, I'm happy to do that. But I just don't feel good about, paying a tiny sum and making that much money off someone's ignorance. Which honestly is why I probably won't do super well if I ever try to like make a big business out of this or something, like try and make this my day job. Um, but also at the same time, for anybody watching this that does think that's okay, if it's your full-time job, if that's how you make your rent or make your mortgage payment, Alters Reap. That might be worth some, but I can't remember. Um, I'm not calling you out. I'm not saying you're a bad person or anything like that. It's just not the way I choose to do business. Um, everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Um, just for me, I don't think it's necessarily right. So one thing I do want to say about these buys from this individual, let me make sure I say their name right, because I want to give them credit. Come on, where are they? Sorry, just looking up their name right now. It's the original listing. RGF Coastal Collectibles on eBay. So one thing about them is they do kind of organize their cards by rarity. So right now we're just going through all of the commons in this box over here, and I didn't know this when I opened them. I just kind of got lucky. So this is obviously all the commons that we've been going through. Over here, this is going to be uncommons, rares, mythics, probably foils, all the value cards that they knew of are going to be in there, and sleeved is usually how they do it, which is something I really appreciate. Um, but another thing about it is, like, if you just picked up this lot and didn't do any of your own research, didn't scan any cards on your own, and just went by what they have as value cards, um, and compared them to TCG prices, you might think, I didn't get my money's worth or something like that. That's not the case though. There are a lot of cards in here. So I've only picked out two, but that's without scanning anything that I've gone through already. And I am gonna go through and scan everything um, quickly, but I'm gonna scan things because I haven't been doing this long enough to be able to just pick out every card of value. Um, but as I said, I have not had a single one of these that I have found, even with pulling out the cards I want to keep, that I have not at least doubled my money on it. And if I threw in the cards that I kept and everything, it probably is closer to triple. Um, Value wise, obviously, listing them, getting them sold, and everything like that, that's another story. But the value that you get from this seller is insane. Um, and I almost don't want to tell people about them because Feral. I don't think my wife has that one, so we'll set aside. Um, I love these Innistrad cards. I absolutely love them. Sorry, but I almost don't want to tell people about them because see they're just so cool. Um, I want to keep them to myself. I want all their good cards and everything that they have, but it's just not fair to them. They're doing something amazing and they deserve the shout out. Obviously, me shouting them out, that's not going to do much because right now we have all of Twilight Panther. Oh, my wife will love that card. All of no viewers, but that's okay. You know, we don't we don't wait until we have hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands of viewers to start calling out people who are doing good stuff. We do it now. We do it from the very get-go. We let people know what they're doing is awesome and that they're doing right by us and that we appreciate them. And for this seller, um I leave reviews for them every time I get a package from them. I'm just going to load this one back up with the quote unquote bulk, but guess what? There's value in there that I didn't pull out because I didn't see it. Some of you that will hopefully be watching this once I get it posted on YouTube are probably gonna look at that bulk and be like, "Holy cow, you missed, all these cards," and I'm gonna be like, "Well, yeah, I did, but that's okay. I'm just gonna set that to the side." And another thing, we get these fat pack boxes too. Um, which have some value as well to people. So like this brand new, where is it, Karlov Manor? Like that's a good looking box. Well, let's go ahead and get it open up. So here's what I mean. So these sleeve cards are the cards that they call out as value. Um, this one's not as full, but they pack it in with some packing material. And let me just verify that this doesn't have any information that I don't want to share. Here we go. And then, oh, maybe if I, here's kind of the packing slip. Uh, Hi, thank you for purchasing my MTG 1000 card premium lot. As promised, this lot of cards contains 600 commons, 50 are foil, 350 uncommons, 25 are foil, 50 rares or mythics, 5 are foil, 1 rare promo card. And then they also threw in a bonus card for me, which I'll show you guys because I am super excited about it. There's the name, RGF Coastal Collectibles, and then Robert, and his eBay handle is pantherfan_67. Hold that up and set it aside. Take this out. So here's where we're going to start seeing some exciting cards, I think. Not that we haven't been already, because quite frankly, Magic cards are just exciting in general. Do that. Ooh. So there's a foil Alpine Meadow, foil Funeral Longboat. It looks like all of these are going to be foil. Frostbite, Dog Pursuit. Airtight Alibi. Like I said, I'm going to be going through and scanning these and looking them up on TCG Player. So if you're seeing any cards that you are like, hey, I need that card for my collection, if it's not value dollar or more, it won't be listed on my TCG store, but reach out to me, and let me know what card it is, and if I still have it when you reach out to me, I'll make you a good deal, and I'll get it sent out to you. Like I said, I'm not here to make, life-changing money. It'd be nice if I could. But I am here. Ooh. Okay, these new foils, like they are nice. I'm gonna set that one aside from my wife's pile. But really, one of the things that I'm trying to do is take old bulk lots, and this is not that, by the way. But like off Facebook Marketplace or um, off of not Craigslist, but where I'm at, we have a news site called KSL that has a classified section, and I look on there a lot of the time, and I buy up these bulk lots from people, get some money into their hands, get the cards into my hand, go through them, get things listed so that cards from these lots that honestly a lot of the time they would have just ooh. I don't totally know how I feel about the retro frame foils. I mean, they're cool, but I don't know. I haven't made an opinion yet. But I'm getting through these and getting the cards out to collectors and players who want them, hopefully at reasonable prices. So, like right here, this one, these two are sleeved cards that's being called out as value. So let me grab my scanner really quick and let's just take a look. And the scanner I'm using is not TCG Players, it's the MTG Dragon Shield app. So Planar Chaos, Healing Leaves, in foil, $4.69. Obviously the TCG player price is probably going to be a bit different. In fact, I know it will be, but it's going to be somewhere around there. Okay, Planar Chaos, Reality Acid, foil, $4.30. So again, the cards he's calling out as value have good value to them. Now we're getting into our uncommons. But I don't see myself as some sort of hero saving cards from being thrown out and getting them to people, and that's how I sleep at night or anything like that. No, I'm obviously making money off the cards I'm selling. It's not a charity thing that I'm doing. Um, as I mentioned before, I had to start selling cards because I started buying too many cards, and I realized I was going to be in some trouble if I didn't find a way to balance that spreadsheet a bit. But I don't want to take advantage of people by any means. So I've made a commitment to myself. It hasn't happened yet because, you know, finding a bulk lot where you're going to be making 10 times your money or something crazy, finding those really, really valuable cards um, that people don't know about, it's not common. If it was common, everybody would be doing it and making bank. Um, but, uh, you know, it's a numbers game. And someday, if that happens to me, I want to make sure that I don't screw anyone over. I take care of my community as best I can. That's both people within the Magic community and people who are getting out or know nothing about it. Just people who are in my actual physical community. Oh, Paxong Pup. I know my wife has that one, but it's just too cute not to set aside for her. Yeah, like I mentioned, there is some duplication, which you know, unless you're promised zero duplication, which is what I'm going to try and do. Um, we'll see how it goes. Um, set vampiric rights. Set that aside as full art. You can't be mad at it. So I'm obviously not mad at it because I actually had one lot I bought from somebody. It was a I think 4,000 card lot. Um, Planeswalker. Let's set that aside. Um, where they said nothing about duplication. It was like the third or fourth lot that I'd bought, and I just kind of assumed because I'd seen so many where people had called out and said duplication, Ranker, Paradise Druid. Um, that I just kind of assumed people who were selling were being honest and upfront about what they had. I got that Afari Betrayer King. I got the lot, opened it up. Oh, that's a cool card. I'm gonna set that one aside for me. Um, Opened it up, started going through it, and it was just like deja vu over and over again. Every handful I got, just duplicate after duplicate after duplicate. It was about 4,000 cards, but of the 4,000 cards, there were zero rares, which they said it was uncommons and commons, so fine. But a lot of times you'll find at least one rare or mythic. Um, See, I'm missing a lot of value in here. Like, it's not there. I'm just passing it by, and I know it's there, but I just don't recognize it yet. Which is why I will be. See, there's Generous Gift again. I know that card is worth some money, in certain sense. But back to my rambling story. I was going through it, Cyclaw Raptor, not worth anything, but it's full art. Set it aside. Um, and there were like 126 unique cards was all. Dwarf Shaman, set that aside. And I couldn't believe it. I reached out to the seller, not to be mad or anything, but I was like, maybe this was a mistake. So I reached out and I asked, oh, Swiftfoot Boots, that's a money card. I asked him, I said, hey, and it was all from the exact same set, Modern Horizons 2, which is now my least favorite set because of this. So I asked him, I said, hey, is massive amount of duplication common? And they said, oh yeah, Swiftfoot Boots, Soul Ring, obviously. They said, yeah, it happens from time to time. We try and call it out though when it does in our ads. And I said, I told them what I had. Old Man Willow, don't have that one. I told them what I had. I'd gone through it card by card, sorted it out, and asked them, is that what you'd expect? And he basically said, oh yeah, that can happen. And I pointed him to the listing where there was zero comment on duplication. Thinking, for me, if I had done that, oh, I love these. They're the Dracula crossover cards, I guess you'd call them. I also collect these stained glass cards. But for me, if I had listed something and sold it, not called out that there was heavy duplication, and someone came back to me and was like, hey, it was pretty much all duplication. There was not a single unique card in there. I would have offered them something, but the seller just kind of like, yeah, well, it is what it is. So, I left an honest review. I think I gave them 3 stars because it was well packaged. They did have the amount of cards that they promised. But I called it out and I said not to expect anything very unique from them because of what I'd got and the interaction and have what I had with them. Oh, these cases, some of them are some money. Because yeah, that's just that's not good business in my opinion. And yeah, I could have. Oh, do I pull these? I'll set it aside for now. I could have asked, before I bid and everything. I could have done the watchdog, definitely for the wife. I could have done more due diligence. I haven't seen that one yet. And I didn't, and that's on me. But again, that's just not the way I think business should be done. All that to say, seeing a couple of duplicated cards in here is nothing, like, at all. Some more Lord of the Rings cards. This makes me so happy. I honestly, I'm not going to be able to just give a full set to my friend or my sister, but I'm going to be pretty close for at least the first 298 cards, or the original 200 some odd cards that they did before they did the alternate art and foil and full art and everything, or not foil, full art and scroll art. But yeah, so I honestly, I'll buy from other sellers on eBay, and then I'll wonder why I wasted my money and didn't just come back to RGF Coastal Collectibles, because I've never had an issue with them. They've always been outstanding to work with. Oh, that's a pretty card. But that's from the Lord of the Rings Commander, which I don't collect, but we'll still set it aside. Anyway, just the camera up just a little bit. Um, see how this is one of the Commander sets, I think, and I know there's some value in them, but I just can't remember which cards are. Which is why if you plan on doing like randomizing stuff, um, we'll set that aside. Um, like go through it one time, just looking for cards that you like. One, because I think we all really should be collectors. Um, oh, here are the uncommon foils. But two, also just to kind of practice pulling cards without scanning, just to get your brain thinking. White dragon. My niece loves dragons and horses and everything, so I'll pull a lot of those cards for her a lot of the time. Um, because I really do think, Magic the Gathering it's such a unique game in that there's something here for everybody. No matter your hobbies, no matter your interests, there's there's a play style for everyone. The reason I stopped is the card behind this, I think, is one of the Lord of the Rings cards. It's not called out as value, and this is one of the things I want you guys to realize. Um, but it is valuable. The non-foil version, I believe, is worth a couple of bucks. The foil version might not be worth any more. Let's see. Okay, so the non-foil version is worth about $1.50, just a little bit under. Foil version's worth a $1.81. Um, but so there, like I was saying, there's definitely cool, 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 cool. There's definitely value that's not being called out. So like if you just went through and pulled the sleeves and said these are the cards that are worth money, and that was it. Mirrodin, nice. um, you'd be missing out on a lot. Okay, so this is an old foil from the Mirrodin set. And actually, so both these guys are old Mirrodin foils from 2003. Let's take a look. Old foils um, can be worth a fair amount. So, Grab the Reins is worth 273. And then Farsight Mask, let's take a look. Farsight Mask, $1.19. So you're not gonna like every old foil is not worth $20 or something insane like that. But um, any of the foils that came before the Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro started doing the collectors boosters and stuff like that, generally are gonna hold more value than modern post collector booster foils, because of the scarcity, really, is what it is. They were much harder to come by before packs were just stuffed with them. Ooh. Okay, so now we're getting into rares. So, like here, for example, this is one of the Fallout cards. Brand new set. And we've got it. This seller, they don't hold back on what they sell you. Like, they're just fun to work with. You never know what you're going to get. Old, new, in between. Zenith Chronicler. So we're gonna all these rares we are gonna set aside. Um, I keep rares even when they're the list reprints. I don't put rares in as free cards, simply because my plan with the random buys that I want to do. Um, Full arts we're gonna set aside though. I don't know why I'm doing that. I did it for a while and then I stopped. Um, I don't know why I'm doing it again. There's a mythic. But my plan with those is to do so the small flat rate boxes and um oh, Planeswalker. There's another Fallout card. Restless Prairie. Um so it's gonna be a set amount of commons from each color type, uncommons. So like I think what I've been throwing around, oh that's a cool looking card, is 50 commons from each color type, 50 uncommons. Nice. Oh, that's pretty art. Um, a set number of like artifacts, and then at a minimum 10 rares or mythics. Okay, hold on. We're gonna. I showed it too soon. So we've got Temple of Abandon, which is again from Fallout. This is the card that I saw that they had that I do not have, and I really wanted. And I reached out to them, um, and I asked. I was like, "Hey, you've got this card. How much do you want for it?" I can't remember exactly how the conversation went. Um, but I'd purchased this lot from them, and they said, "Hey, look, I haven't shipped the lot out yet. Um, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that card, Dawn of a New Age, in for you." I was like, "No way." That this seller, RGF Coastal Collectibles, they're just amazing to work with. I mean, uh, this is why I'm gonna keep coming back to them time and time again. Their customer service is amazing. They work with you, and they get to know you a bit, and they're just great. I can't tell you how happy this card makes me. I now I have two of the poster art Lord of the Rings cards. The other one is the Watcher in the Water, and no, that just that gives me butterflies inside to see that. I'm gonna will it that doesn't do it justice. Put it more center. There we go. Such a beautiful card. Some people don't like those poster art. And yeah, I wouldn't want to play with it because I can't read it. But it's just such a beautiful piece of artwork. So here we're getting to more of the value cards that are being pulled out. Ooh, older cards. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna scan these really quick just to show you the type of value that gets sent out, that they are calling out, and they are just right off the bat saying, "Hey, this is worth money." Without even having to go through, I can pull these out, search them on a TCG player, and get them listed, right? Regiswar. Oh, that was a terrible pronunciation. Alpha. $1.44. And again, I'm doing these on the um oh my gosh, what is the app called? Dragon Shield MTG scanner app. So prices are not perfect to TCG player, but they're close enough. This is the best app I found for quick scanning. All the other ones you kind of have to have the cards laying flat to get a good scan on them. So Gimli's Reckless Might. Let's see, 494. So this card, it's showing up as 46 cents, so not huge value, but it's also a really cool card, so that's fine. Um, Oversold Cemetery. which is from Onslaught. So in this version, which is the non-foil version, it's $2.71. And this is what I mean by older foils. So pre when was it? 99, 2000, somewhere 98 to 2000, somewhere in there. They started adding more foil versions of cards and stuff. Um, but before then, and this is 2002 when this set was released. The foil version of this card, 2754. Uh, which that's 10 times the value of the non-foil version. You don't see that nowadays anymore, really. Intrude on the Mind, 84 cents. We're going to set that aside. Blight Mound, in this version, which is the extended art version, $3.24. Set that there. This card, Tekuthal Inquiry Dominus. I really hope I didn't butcher that. But this is one that the MTG Dragon Shield scanner struggles with. Oh, but it actually got it. The extended art, full art, alternate art, Dragon Shield doesn't always do a great job with those. But this one it actually did. So this version, the foil and the normal non-foil price are actually the exact same. And that's $4.97. Hopeful Initiate, $2.05. Conflux from Masters 25, number 202, $3.24. Master of the Wild Hunt. This is the list reprint version. Let me just make sure. Okay, so this is actually an interesting one. Excuse me, sorry. So in the Masters 25 version, so not the reprint version, this would be worth $2.36. However, for the list reprint A25, it's worth $7.29. I always think that's kind of funny that the reprints are worth more money sometimes. $4.40. So Streets of New Capenna, unlicensed hearse, non-foil version, $3.64. Like, you're gonna get your value absolutely when you buy from RGF Coastal Collectibles. RGF, yeah, not RFG. RGF. But I mean, here's more cards that they've called out as value: Storm Carved Coast, Arcane Bombardment. Oh, that's a cool card. Oh, I'm covering up my beautiful card. I can't do that. So these ones they've called out as value, so I'm going to set those to the side so we can scan them. And then here are the rares and mythic foil cards. I believe they are 5. So the Monumental Facade from Phyrexia, all shall be one, or all will be one. No Witnesses. Mizzix of... I'm not sure, but that's fine. Preacher of the Schism. I love this. The Ixalan vampire cards just have so much class in the artwork and everything. They're just so cool. These ones will go on that pile. Venerated Rot Priest. Hamlet back Goliath. So this is one of the promo cards. So this set came with one rare promo card. This is from 2013. We'll scan this one for sure. Let's take a look at it and see. Excuse me. See what it's worth. Let's see. A10. So 25 cents, but who cares? It's a beautiful card and it's a piece of Magic history. Like the value that's one thing that I've really tried not to get caught up on with doing this is the value of the card should not be solely in the monetary amount that the card is worth. Um, Obviously, doing this as a business venture with my TCG store, Redbeard streaming on tcgplayer.com, I do have to be a little bit more worried about getting value from things. I can't lose a lot of money and be okay with it because well, I have a wife and dogs and cats that I need to feed. So, Preacher of the Schism in foil, 672. Um, but at the same time, if I'm not multiplying my investment in this by, 10 or 100 or whatever, I don't really care. It's just fun to be able to go through Magic history and look at beautiful artwork and build decks any way I want because I've got cards. Venerated Rot Priest from Phyrexia, All Will Be One in foil, 510. This one is not the foil version, but Storm Carved Coast from Innistrad Crimson Vow, 458. And honestly, I think from the value cards that have been called out here, we've made our money back easy. This card, Arcane Bombardment from Streets of New Capenna, 467. So before even going through and scanning any other cards, which I'm going to do, we've already made our money back and then some. Oh, come on, focus. Well, Batter Skull. Um, in non-foil, 361. If it was the foil, 1091. I know people probably don't do this, but don't disregard foil cards, even new ones. There are some new ones that do carry more value than their non-foil counterparts. Um, and some people do still really prefer foil over non-foil, and that's fine. Court of Ardenvel. It's the 29 386 is the value on that one. The card number's 29. It's not worth $29, although that'd be really cool. 66. Thesa, God of the Sea, 261. In foil, 1887. Curious Altasaur, 351. I'm trying to remember if my niece has this card or not. I'm going to set that one aside because I don't think she does, and if she doesn't, I think she'd really quite like that card. Um, we have Grave Crawler, which is one of the list reprints, 305. And then we have, let's see if I can pronounce this name right, Oskir, the Reconstructor. This is the number 335 which is valued at 374. Like how can you not like Magic the Gathering when it's got awesome art like that? Like I mean, I feel bad for people who don't get into it. And this was me for a while. I'm gonna like here, let's bring out this beautiful card. Put it forefront and yeah. Like me for a long time, I didn't get into playing Magic the Gathering, not because I thought it was too nerdy or anything like that. I'm a giant nerd. And I'm way into a lot of other things, but I was like, it's too complex. There's too many sets, too many rules, yada 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 yada. Then I played my first game with my I played with my brother, sister-in-law, and my niece, who were all way into it. My brother and sister-in-law got my niece into it, and the three of them got me into it. And I was awestruck with how much fun it was. How honestly, how simple the mechanics and the gameplay are, and just how much you can do with it. We played the what was it? The Lord of the Rings Commander decks that my brother and sister-in-law brought with them when they came to visit. And for me, I Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite things in the world, so that automatically hooked me. Which is why, cards like this have a very special place in my heart. If you look at my I'm doing air quotes around this, but quote unquote library, um, I have multiple copies of The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, The Silmarillion. I'm buying up every book around like the Lost Tales and the letters that Tolkien and had written back and forth with J.R. Tolkien had written back and forth with Christopher Tolkien, and just all the lore and everything that didn't quite get to be finished. I'm just trying to eat up all of it because I love that universe so much. J.R. Tolkien, he was an absolute master of storytelling in a historic way. And by that, I don't mean he was historically the best storyteller, but he took this story and created an entire universe from it. And people will say, well, yeah, but people do that nowadays. And it's like, well, yeah, but Tolkien was one of the first modern examples of somebody, and honestly, he may have been one of the first to do that outside of myth and legend, but he created uh, a brand new mythology, a brand new creation story, brand new languages, brand new pretty much everything built around mythology. That's completely fair. I don't think there's a single story that is completely and totally unique in of itself. Every story is built off of stories, tells, mythology that came before it in one way or another. But the way that he did it in trying to create a new mythology um, was just amazing. And yeah, modern day authors, I'm not going to name any because I'll embarrass myself in trying to, but they have definitely done that as well. But they are all showing respect and paying homage to Tolkien in their work in one way or another. Um, but that I got way off on a tangent there. I'll do that a lot if I talk Tolkien. But and I'm not smart enough to delve deep enough into that. As me and my friends say, we're strong men, not smart men. Um, but Magic, in my opinion, has done such a good job capturing a lot of the imagery from Tolkien's work in their cards. Um, A lot of people have issue with the way that the artwork was presented, and that's fine. That's totally fine. You know, my opinion's not right. It's my opinion. Um, but in my opinion, I think Magic did a good job with it, and it obviously hooked me. I went from having zero experience with Magic on Thanksgiving Day of last year to, I think my collection, I shouldn't call it my collection. My collection is comparatively small, but my inventory, let's call it that, that makes me sound more business aficionado or whatever. My inventory is probably somewhere around 50,000 cards now. Um, so Magic hooked me with that one set. Um, but that's a long way to go about saying Magic has a place for everybody. I think so. If you've never tried it, give it a shot. Local game stores, there's one for everybody. Some are better than others, and you have to find one that fits with your vibe a bit. But everyone can find acceptance in this community, I believe. Um, but that's a long tangent that I got off on. Really, I wanted this video to be an unboxing of this new collection from, let me make sure I'm saying their name right because I get letters mixed up really easily. RGF Coastal Collectibles. Right there. RGF Coastal Collectibles. Go check them out on eBay if you're interested in Magic the Gathering and getting yourself some random lots. You won't be disappointed. I guarantee it. But that is all for me. I'm gonna try and do more of these kind of unboxing random buy videos as I can. Sometimes I'm just too excited about the packages when they get in that I just kind of tear them open and start digging. But I'll try and schedule them out so that y'all can know when it's coming. Um, if you don't mind, just giving me a subscribe, a follow, um, on my channel here. I'll be posting this video to my YouTube channel, which is Redbeard Streaming on YouTube. I think I'm going to do both the full length and then also a condensed version. But other than that, thank you so much for coming out and watching and supporting my stream. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. But I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Monday and an amazing week. And from Red here at Redbeard Streaming, goodbye and good luck.